I remember something early, so I'm telling you now because I kind of recovered. So, one time Vinny threw me out the window and I grabbed on to, this was when I was 5, in 2003, I grabbed on the what's left of the screen from the window. So, I hang out the window trying to pull me up as Vinny was being beat AJ. I tried to pull myself up, I did, but then Vinny pushed me back out of the window, and he cut off the rest of the screen when I grabbed the screen this time because trying to help AJ. I heard him beating up AJ, didn't saw him, so I tried to pull myself from what I did, but the time that he was finishing, threw me out, pushed me out of the window again, and last time he pushed me out of the window, but except a different end. So, anyway, landed on the floor, nothing to break my fall like last time. I fell out of that one, the same window in Medford, the first time Medford House. And I landed on the cement, bleeding from my head a bit. And I squeaked myself a little on the elbows and back of the legs. So I walked upstairs. He was waiting for me with brass knuckles that says Alan Graham. One hand said Graham, but it only could fit so many letters, couldn't fit the whole letters. And the other one said Alan. They were my dad's brass knuckles that Uncle Gary got from for the first birthday that me and Daddy spent together. Although he never used them because he used them more for decorations, but never physically using them because he didn't want me to get hurt or AJ to play with them. So he kept them in a glass case and locked it. I remember put a big lock on it so me and AJ wouldn't try playing with it. Them. I didn't think it was the point. I was too small. But I guess he knew that I would want to play with it, which I did. I wanted to look at it and play with it. It was so shiny, I couldn't help myself. This was when I was 0. It's coming out. It was gold, made out of gold, real gold. Dad's first name was engraved on the first knuckle, and his second name was engraved on the second knuckle. His last name was engraved on the second knuckle. His first name was engraved on the first knuckle. His last name was engraved on the last knuckle. But you see, Graham was a long word, so I guess someone had to shorten it. Because it has only like 6 words, so Grant has 6 letters, so they had to fit 4 to make it a full word. So anyway, back to the bad memory. So anyway, he was way upstairs and he pushed me down the stairs, and while wearing the brass knuckles, they put some extra force on for his push. So I started bleeding more. And then Vinny came downstairs and punched me at least 2 times with the brass knuckles, and my this part I see called my leg caps or kneecaps. That's what they called it. That's what I used to call it also, kneecaps. And then pushed me, and I tried blocking the punches as he was punching me in the head. He was punching me here and here, and because I decided to block it, so he punched me. I blocked it in front. I blocked the front, so he decided to punch me here and here several times. I didn't know how many I wasn't going to keep count. I was just keep on the fact of Boston. I felt a whole lot like 70 to me. Or maybe it just felt like that because it was so painful. Yeah, it was real low. It could have been less than that. It just felt, my head said 70 when at the time it counted 70 because I felt my head moving. My brain moving. So, so then Vin got tired of being up in that, and so I was bleeding really heavily from this side and this side. And so Vinny punched me when he punched me in the elbow. And so then one time for each, so then the bones of my elbows and kneecaps were like popping out and exposed. Oh, and also because he was punching me so hardly in this side, both of my eyes came out. Because he punched me in this side and also this side. Both of my eyeballs came out. And they came out as soon as I did this, released the holding my punches. At least I released holding my shield of blocking the punches. When I did that, both of my eyeballs popped all the way out. They were still. I kind of felt them a little out. I felt them. Sorry, I just had to do that to snap myself out of the shock. So I felt them in a little, and I'm a little shocked. So I felt them a little, and then I released my shield, and they all came all the way. And then Fang kept punched me in the forehead and slammed me in the back of my head on the wall and several times. And punched me in the back of her head several times. Don't know how many. And punched me in the front of my forehead several times, and both of them were all the places where I got hit, punch in the head were bleeding really good and kind of dripping blood. I remember I was dripping a lot of blood. No one stopped him. Mom and AJ were in their rooms. That's where they were most of the times. I got beat by Vinny. They were in their rooms instead of standing up to him. At least that's how it was in the first Medford house. In the second one, while Mom could walk. So, yeah, I guess I just remember him dropping the brass knuckles after was no longer stand anymore, and just exhausted and bleeding all over the place, and we got blood on the knuckles. A lot of them all covered in blood. So Vinny for them washed them, and I remember he washed them. He for them, I can't remember, but he did something with them, and or he did both. I'm sorry, so I'm just trying to remember what happened to those things. I don't know I don't remember what happened to them. I remember he sometimes took them off and just dropped them in front of me on my balls. Yeah, my penis, mostly about the landed. And no, they didn't drop on my balls. They landed in front of them, but they could have dropped on my balls. I kind of then passed out after that because after he left, I passed out for I don't know how long. Then I woke up. Then I was in Mom's car, and as we were going to hospital, I think it was Yale, and I got fixed up. And I can't remember what happened next. Eventually I went home after getting stitched up and both of my eyes put on. Mom took me back home. I remember Mom took me home the next day, and I was on morphine. Barely did anything. She was supposed to take me back to get the stitches out, but she ended up eventually taking the stitches out herself. Too early, actually. I remember she took them out on Friday morning because she didn't want Dad to see the stitches. Luckily, those stitches were almost healed fully. But just healed enough, not enough to get to open up the scab or anything. But they were almost fully healed. Well, that much healed. And I remember Dad saw the swelling in my head, and he was wondering what was swelling in my head. Well, Mom, it could be Mom. I said it could be Mom cutting my hair. I think it was Mom. My mom did cut my hair this morning. I forgot to say taking the stitches out part. She cut my hair before she took the stitches out. I forgot to say that part. I forgot to say that. He still will see this phone. I can just text him, right? Right. Dad, I can text Dad this part. And then the stitches healed all the way through over the weekend. I didn't saw Vinny until Monday. At least I think that's the timeline, right? Or your dad saw me with stitches. You know, ask him when he is. I don't think he saw me with the stitches. I think mom took them out too early. That's what I don't know. I'll correct myself if I made a mistake on that and another video of this. Bye. That's all I can remember. I think I remember it, right? I was on the maximum dose of morphine, I think. Or the recommended maximum dose. One of them, I think. Not really sure what mom had me on. What dose she had me on. That's all I can remember. I don't remember some of the stuff. I'm probably remembering some of the stuff, but you got the rest. You got the idea what happened. Basically, it was the worst abuse that Vinny ever gave me. I also got a serious concussion. Internal bleeding in the brain. I remember I got some internal bleeding in the brain because of that. Because mom probably told him some sort of lie. She must be, because otherwise they would have called the cops on Vinny. That's all I gotta say.